We are the middle children of history. No purpose, no place. No great war and no great depression. Our great war is a spiritual war, and our great depression is our lives. I'm sure you guys know where that's from. I'm going to touch on and elaborate a little bit on the spiritual and physical war that we find ourselves in. From the moment we've left our mother's wombs, we are and we have been under attack. Whether you like it or not, this is the reality. The food we consume at youth, okay, high sugar, high sodium, dropping our concentration levels, the sluggishness you feel after it, the links to ADHD, processed foods and ADHD. As we move forward in life and as we grow up, we're bombarded even more. We have the corn hub, wasting away at our spiritual elixir. We throw our life force down the drain, and this behavior is normalized. It's okay to waste away your seed multiple times a day, multiple days a week. This is okay. Ads constantly telling you you are never enough unless you have the latest upgraded version of this piece of tech, a menial change that you won't even use. The past 5 iterations of the device, you used it probably for the same thing you're using it for now. Constantly telling us, we lack, buy this because you lack, you don't have enough. Clothing companies always releasing new versions and different models. They are constantly bombarding your psyche. Sports, we eulogize and we hold in high regards these stars as though they are deities and high priests and gods. And while I understand that these guys do amazing things on courts and on pitches and fields, we treat this as a religion. We throw our money away at shirts, on shirts, going to stadiums, billion-dollar complexes and spending hundreds of dollars or pounds on tickets and season passes. And while that's good, it's an escape because we know, okay, I've had a tough week. I'm going to switch on the Arsenal game. I've pacified myself. But I'm still in this net, this planned net that they have for us. The energy that I could use and I'm throwing so fervently and passionately into supporting my team, right? I could use that towards something else. I could push that into something beyond the carnal, beyond satiating my desire and entertaining myself. Social media has us scrolling like mindless drones, wasting away again at our concentration. So any will that we had left is zapped. But there is a solution. SR. If you haven't, I would recommend watching an old film. It's turned into a cult classic called They Live. And Rowdy Rodney Piper, I believe, rest your soul, puts on these glasses and he sees the world for what it is. Retention is no different. Retention allows you to cut through, okay? It removes the damage that the early stages of war have had on you, and it allows you to cut through and climb up and supersede beyond the gnarly claws of the machinations of the system. You see the world for what it is because you are content with yourself. You are full. Gonads full. You don't lack. Only somebody who lacks is going to drain themselves virtually, communicating to their body that I've achieved our highest target. So therefore your will, barometer of will, here, low, high. Your barometer's low here. Sports, your desire for wanting more goes into wanting more for men who play for a team and who earn far more than you and I ever will or would. again, your will's gone because you put so much of it into chanting and passionately supporting your team. So at the end of a game, you feel as though you've played a game. The emotional roller coaster has drained you. So now you're as exhausted as them. Social media, wasting away at your concentration, your will, your yearning for more. But the most pernicious of this is here, corn. And draining your creative force. This is something that goes into bringing another life into this system. So potent, and the implications of doing such, they know, hence why there's no cost for doing this. No cost at all for accessing this. But if you can shift and if you can begin to remove and start to operate from a place of fullness, oh, I don't need this. I don't need this. I certainly don't need this. And I for sure should not be doing this. And I definitely don't need it. You begin to operate from a place of fullness, becoming more content with you and your creative force, the same creative force that would go into making a baby. Now your body is in shock mode saying, well, if he's not making a baby, I for damn well sure need to make sure he's in the best position to procreate with the best partner to bring a baby into existence. So now you've channeled your energy and your attention's going into, okay, I'm not in the best financial position. I need to work on that. I'm not in the best physical shape. I also need to work on that. I'm not in the best spiritual shape. Let me connect with God. Let me pick up a Bible and read a couple of scriptures to understand more. And so as you go on this journey, your will is strengthening. This barometer is now going from low and it's filling up every day on retention. It's filling up, it's filling up, it's filling up, it's filling up. From low to high, it's filling up. Your will and your resistance is greater. You can now sit down and program, sift through tedious pieces of code and look for error to make sure your app launch is going to be flawless. Sit down and write and rewrite and scrap and hit the drawing board again to make sure your next business venture is going to be flawless. The previous you, with lack of will and modes of escapism, would have no desire to do as much because all your energy is invested here. But now you have an abundance of energy because you've removed and you've understood these are weapons of war made to slowly sift away at my will and my concentration. So I can never leave where I'm at, physically, financially, and spiritually. You're malleable here. Ideas are thrust in through here, 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 betting, here, agendas, maybe good, maybe bad, we don't know. On retention now, you're full. You only need yourself. And because you've done the best for yourself, you are preserving your creative force, which is the most potent force, the most valuable force. Your body is going to fall into line. You supersede everything else that lies down here. And it's akin to, again, we've got Superman up here, and we know Superman can leave the orbit and go to anywhere, basically, in the universe, but he chooses to stay on Earth. So we operate from, again, the Uberman or Superman. While we can engage with the earthly world, as Superman does, we operate with such restraint and control as Superman does. He said so himself. The world is like cardboard to him, and if he overexerts himself, that can mean destruction for someone or something. We are no different on SR. Now, we might see a sports game. I like to watch Arsenal, but no longer am I, oh my goodness, my week's ruined, my month ruined because my team lost. I see it for what it is. It's entertainment, and it's no more than that. But even before that, have I done what I need to do for myself, for my family? Am I making the inroads into building a greater legacy? Because I for sure know the team Arsenal are doing that. The players who are scoring those goals and receiving hundreds of thousands a week are definitely doing that. And I should be doing the same. I shouldn't be giving all my energy, time and money to them. right? This is a distraction from you. And this is all that separates it. And SR is an amplifier. SR amplifies your will. You might be, oh man, I'm tired. And off SR, you might be thinking, I'm just gonna, give in. Work's been beating me down. I come home now, the kids are yelling and screaming. I need time. But the creative and the value bringing self is going into the world and saying, woo, screw that. I'm gonna spend maybe 2 or 3 hours now that I'd use for sports, hub, social media. I should have put video games. I'm going to put that into building something beyond my pleasures, beyond carnality. And that's how semen retention can help to cut through and destroy, these weapons. It's really interesting because, and it's quite thought-provoking when you look at a lot of sports stars in the football area. I'm not talking American football, but soccer. This is a slight digression. What value do they bring us apart from entertainment? These are guys who have been put forth, right? They're on our screens. We see them daily. We praise them, right? We hold them in high regard. But how are they really enhancing our lives? We look at them and think, oh, wow, that's amazing. He can dribble. That's really great. He can dunk a basketball. Yes, there are a few who give lectures and talks. Shout out to, I think it's Jaylen Brown. There are probably others that I'm not aware of, but I think they are far outnumbered, those who actually don't provide value and enrich us in a way that's just deeper than just satiating us for the sake of carnality. So think on these things and go back to the drawing board if need be and look at, well, right, what is in my environment that I need to remove? How am I thinking about myself? Am I still coming from a position of lack? Am I mindlessly buying things, following trends? Journaling is good. But, as I say, retention is always going to supersede anything. Retention gets you on that path of cleansing because you're cleansing the temple. Cleansing the temple, which is the space for the Most High. Right? And as our Bible says, the temple of the Most High is within. 1 Corinthians 3:16. And if that's clean, we can let the divine work its magic. Don't count the days, make the days count.